Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. Everybody knows that there's a gang problem of Mountain View, Nannyville, Backbush versus Swallowfield. So it seems as if the police got some information about an individual known as Mr. Casanova that might be involved in some criminal activity. So they execute being the operative word, a search warrant at a house of Mountain View at about 5 a.m. in the morning. Catch them slipping, catch them sleeping. I am going to let you hear what the residents had to say. Hear what his girlfriend had to say was flying from foreign and she was there with their child or with a little pitney. While Mr. Casanova was taken out by the police, who said it was a pie out. They came under GUN fire. And you know the cliche script, they returned fire after the smoke clear. Mr. Casanova was taken out. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
The youth them a promote money, business, and girl. I got them a promote, not killing that boy. My son traumatized. What is this? No, we're tired of it now.
Is this the way we're gonna keep on living here? Police just come kick off door, carry body bag to put in people, no question, no ask, where are the handcuffs to bring in the people them?
Look at it, them say that shootout and then take a gun from him. Look which find there. Look on the wall them. If you say in a gunshot hole. No gunshot hole, so always a shootout. You come and kill the man in him bed. The cops them now, they were standing right at the doorway. They don't enter into the room as yet, but the gun, they pointed the gun on me with a light. And then they said, who is he? So I said, my baby father. And then they said, where me come from? So I said, I just come from America, come on vacation. After I said that, I hear one shot. So I hear the shot now, I run off to go back in the room. So then barge me, because you have some standing at the kitchen doorway and some already gone in the room. And him, so I hear the gunshot and I run off to go in the room. Then barge me from go into the room. When them barge me from go in the room, them say, tell the rest of the cops, them say, carry me downstairs. I don't see Paul I give no trouble. If Paul did give trouble, like, people would know if I give trouble. He's just a peaceful person and him love to share and the whole community can tell you.
The Commission thus renews its call for the security forces to hasten the process for the acquisition of body-worn cameras. The Commission is particularly concerned.
Now, people, you heard what the residents had to say. You heard what family members had to say. You heard what the girlfriend had to say. You and I know, in Jamaica, a lot of these communities, they support, they facilitate the FUCKRY because they are beneficiaries of the proceeds of crime. A lot of their family members are involved. Don't know if this applies to this youth, Mr. Casanova. Don't know enough details. Don't know him from Adam or Eve. But the people, I must say, based on the evidence, police kicked down the door. Based on the evidence, there is no shootout. And again, I was not there. But if there was shootout, there would have been spent shell going from opposite direction, meaning from inside the room where he was taken out to from outside the room to where he was. It clearly showed, based on the BLOOD that was splattered all over the bed, soaking at the bed that he was taken out on the bed. Somehow looked like EXECUTION style. You hear in the com say, where the body camera. You hear the Justice Minister, Dr. Horace Chang, said he does not see the benefits. Well, it is not going to be beneficial if being the operative word, your JCF officers are out here committing all sorts of extrajudicial takeaway. So it definitely won't benefit you, it won't benefit the government, who more than likely would be sued as a participant, the government, the JCF. So therefore, there is no sorts of benefit in that. But why wouldn't you wear the body cameras? Why wouldn't you secure yourself? Make sure that you have the camera, the proof, the evidence In case you have to go to court, you cannot hear people supporting criminals when there's actual footage that you came under fire and you returned fire, justifiably so. The next thing with this girlfriend from overseas and people like me say, I don't understand a lot of these people, them leave from the comfort of where they are in America, Canada, UK, wherever. And them come in some sort of volatile community and them come amongst people with questionable character. And then when these people lose their life, if indeed they are involved in any sorts of criminal activity, then them I wonder how come like the JPS commercial. People like me say, sometimes if it not goes so, it kind of goes something like so. But when it comes to the JCF, they've been under fire and justifiably so, because based on what is out there lately, Indicom is concerned that since 2025, which is maybe about 2 weeks in the year, at least 12 going on to 13 people already lost their life under questionable circumstances. Is this one of those circumstances? Are the people lying, justifying, taken up for criminal elements once again? All of these questions could have been answered had there been body-worn camera, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about maybe about 24 hours ago, yesterday or so. The picture that you see on the screen, 37-year-old guard Taylor, he works at Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited. He works as a crane operator. Based on information, it is said that he left work a couple of days ago. He was trailed home, well, not to his house, to his mother's house, which is in Cumberland, which is in Portmore. It is said that just as he was about to exit his vehicle, the men jumped off of the bike, wet him up very badly. He was taken out on the spot. When the incident occurred, people are saying, then hold on a minute, a bad man at the work. What is this? This sounds like foul play. Something in a something, this sounds like a hit. I told you that more than likely the motive was an individual that he was doing business with as it pertains to a VOXY motor vehicle. I told you that somebody owed somebody business, some money for some sorts of business. The business went way, way left. I told you that that man had demanded back the money. Well, people like them say, if it not goes so, it goes something like so. Based on information, credible source that I am getting, it is said that that man and Mr. Taylor have been doing business for a while. Mr. Taylor has a business in which he imports cars for individual at discounted price. Usually, if something sounds too good to be true, that means some sorts of racket, some sorts of hustle is involved. Based on information, it is said that that man owes Mr. Taylor guard that is about 9 million Jamaican dollars. They've been having conversation, conflicts on the phone. That man decides, listen, since me not pay him, and since him a run off him mouth and a squander my name, I am going to commit DEATH to clear the DEBT. So debt for debt, if you understand where or what I'm speaking about. So that is said that is the motive. He did not want to clear up his bill, and he was getting numerous phone calls, and he was annoyed. And he probably said to himself, well, I can pay a man a couple of $100,000, and my problem and debt is gone, erased totally, literally. Now, people, just in case you did not know, when it comes to Jamaica customs, when it comes to people that work at the Wharf or Freeport, one of the most or two of the most, both of them kind of link, not directly, do two separate things, but kind of the same. They work together sometimes for the hustle. They coordinate their efforts so everybody makes money. When it comes to that place that he works, this is what happened. This is where the containers come in. This is where the containers go out. This is where containers that come in that's supposed to go through the regular process or protocols, they don't go so dependent on who is the person behind it. So in other words, if you are a big businessman, if you are a drugsman, if you are a gun runner, and you know say your stuff coming through one of those containers, you can avoid going through the process, the screening, the x-ray, whatever, and get your stuff once the price is right, if you have the proper link. So I say this to say that a lot of illegal activity, a lot of things are done under the table. That place, just like customs, is run just like the mafia, just like they run the Italians back in the days in America. No sorts of difference. And if you don't follow the protocols, whether you are a security, whether you are an employee, they will make sure that you are silenced. As a matter of fact, it runs so deep in the HR that means that if you are security and somebody come and tell you, say, listen, you see that container the XYZ, when it a pass, go on like you know see it. If you act like you see it, you are going to see life no more. As a matter of fact, based on information that I am getting, it is so entrenched in the whole thing that even the people in my work at HR will give these people your information, meaning your address, your picture, and everything, and you might be erased off the face of the earth. When it comes to customs, the same thing. If you and I walk into customs and we go through the regular protocol, we are going to be taxed up the ASS. We are going to go through a whole bunch of rigmarole, a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of process. But people come in and them have them links, every and anybody, owner involved, they are some squares. They are not the atypical. Some just say, the place run like a mafia organization. Is Mr. God Taylor a good youth? Maybe. Is Mr. God Taylor hustling? More than likely. And why I say that Mr. God Taylor was more than likely hustling? It is said that Mr. God Taylor has at least 3 houses in a Portmore, a couple of Airbnb, the house that his mother live, I don't know if that is one of the 3, that's based on the information that I got. Now, people, if you know anything about the streets, if you even live in America and you work for a government agency, chances are the average person that have a good job in America don't have 3 houses. Jamaica, the pay is less. It is not any sort of rich job that you get. It is based on hustle. So he has at least 3 houses in a Portmore alone, amongst others, amongst Airbnbs that he owns. So people, you tell me, do you think that that man was just doing his job like every other ordinary broke citizen in America, in Jamaica, or he was hustling? And he did business with the wrong people, and people like them say, if you start with ish, you end up with ish. Don't start no ish, won't be no ish. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the police is in the news again for all the wrong reasons. And this is based on a case, an incident that took place in 2023, in which a young man known as Javon Wees, represented by a lawyer known as Vincent Wellesley. The case went to trial in 2024, that is last year. The verdict came out on Thursday, and this man was found not guilty. Here are the details. Based on the information, it is said that the police gathered information, intelligence that some gangster in a Bull Bay that have been creating chaos, catastrophe in the era, gang activity. They went to the house in question. When they approached the house, them claims to them hear all sorts of loud explosion. 3 men that were allegedly in the house run from the house, run in a different direction. Mr. Javan went in his own direction, jumping at some sorts of gully. The police claimed that when they saw Mr. Javan, he had a tool in his hand, him pop off and bust off some tool off of the police. Police returned fire, him jump in a gully. Then blaze up more fire for him, hold him, took him to the hospital, and then took him to the Port Royal jail. He has been incarcerated ever since then. Like I said, the case went to trial a couple of weeks ago. Conclusion is that the judge said, hold on a minute. There is no evidence, no statement from the police, no shooting wherever Spence Shell was found, where the man fire from, where the police fire from. None of that is essential in sealing a case. The only evidence that they had is evidence that was coming from Indicom, which you know that whenever there's any sorts of police shooting, whether it is basic pie up or extrajudicial, Indicom is always going to do their job. Indicom is always going to cover their back. The judge came to the conclusion that after listening to the three officers that gave testimony, statement, sworn statement, their statement is not credible. The fact that they did not provide evidence to substantiate their claims, the fact that the evidence, the physical evidence, based on what was gathered by Indicom, contradicts or conflict what they say, the judge found that they had credibility issues. Now, people, when we hear the police go up any sorts of scene for any gunman, and the gunman have a tool, whether he has it tucked in his waist or even worse, if a wheel and pop off and blaze up after the officer, he gets absolutely no sorts of sympathy. If he loses his life or his cronies lose their life, people have no problem with that because you know, say, the jails, the system is like a revolving door. So them go in, so them come out, whether they are going to get rid of the witness or the witness just missing, witness gets scared. So more than likely, they're going to beat it upon some sorts of technicality, some sorts of witness is not there or witness missing, MIA. The facts are these. Most cases that go to court, if it's not the system, meaning lack of proper evidence, meaning prosecutorial misconduct, meaning that the prosecutor, the system just fumbles the ball. In this case, you have three officers testifying. If you are three or one of three or three of three officers testifying against a man, if the evidence is strong, it is going to be three police officers against one alleged gunman. Not to say that Mr. Weeze is not a gunman, but me just say you have to have the backing evidence. And in a lot of cases, when these police or trial goes to court, the police want over-sensationalize, they want exaggerate, they want make sure that the person go to prison. So they are inconsistent. They are not prepared, like them say, he who fails to prepare, prepares to fail. And failure in the court, that means criminal walk, whether they are guilty or not. So after listening to the witness, listening to the suspect, whose case, or the judge might feel say him in a something, feel say him is a criminal, but because the police, the three police, was dazed, confused, babbling like some babbling baboons in a court, then this man and the rest of coroners that were said to be criminal element walk, especially Mr. Weeze, especially if you have any sort of half-decent lawyer that represents you well in court and asks for the minimum requirement. If you cannot even produce the minimum requirements, then like them say, without a shadow of a doubt, that person is going to walk. So therefore, the police, as they always do, most of the cases in a court is lost by prosecutorial misconduct or the police just babbling the ball, fumbling the ball, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.